I started shooting newspaper enterprise out of Cleveland. Photographer. Yeah. And I was doing the still stuff then. Manson lived on a street, I think, called Gershom. That's what it was. And he was living with a whole bunch of motorcycle guys. He was not with that other crowd, with them women and other stuff at all. So he was hanging out with them or whatever. And that was before he went up to the ranch. But anyway, someplace I've got a picture of where he painted a painting. I've got it home someplace in the crap pile of stuff. Painted the whole big section that he painted, and I took pictures of it. And just a couple of days later, it was removed, I think, by the guy that owned the property or something of that kind. So I don't think there's two pictures in the United States that like mine. Then, of course, Charlie moved up, or Manson moved up with the up to the ranch, where that old guy was up there. And I was up there, and I sat next to them a couple times, with Manson, another guy and I just happened to go up and get a few shots, at the ranch. And when we got up there, it was on fire. And so it was he and I were the ones that opened the gates and everything to let the horses and the cows out. Yeah, this is more in the beginning.
Right.
Still, he still had that sort of being in charge and a couple of here, but not that they were doing the homicides and all that kind of damn shit.
Meet Charles Manson.
Oh, yeah.
What was he like? What was your impressions of him?
I don't think I could pin down how good a thinking or what his thinking was. I think that he had a mind that what went on or whatever was better than we thought it was, deal. And he did things and directed certain things that would be questionable, but you'd have, just a very puzzling, individual. And the guys who were with him and the girls just seemed to, no matter what, if she said a bowel movement, why you better do a bowel movement right now. I mean that's the way the thing went with the rules and stuff. And the girls, I remember down during the trial that they had on some of them, there was 3 or 4 of them that my wife would remember today, the names and everything. And one of them lived out in Malibu originally, the girl, I don't know. But I don't know, they just, that whole crowd was dingy. And I can't imagine that people would run around killing people, but they did.
It was August 9th, 1969, a hot summer morning. The sunrise would cast a light on one of the darkest chapters in Los Angeles history. 5 dead, including Sharon Tate, pregnant wife of Roman Polanski. Even more shocking, how they were killed, brutally shot or stabbed. And it wasn't over. The next night in Silver Lake, Rosemary and Lino LaBianca, random, horribly unlucky victims, killed almost the same brutal way. Death to pigs written in their blood on the wall. Helter Skelter on the refrigerator.
Place on Beverly Hills up there, I snuck in and shot that. Manson had directed the guy to do something, and the guy that ran the house or something, and the woman had the house, wouldn't let him do it or wouldn't something or other, and they went in and killed her.
Yep. Husband and wife, right?
Yeah, went in, and because I remember her, the knife was in the belly.
Taking photos.
Oh no! Number one, I was pretty well with the same cops all the time. You know, deal with it. And I could see into the living room, and I could see Death 2 or something. I shot that. Well, of course, that didn't show that much of anything there, being that far over. So anyway, I went downstairs and took off all my camera equipment and walked over to the driveway, and of course there were policemen all the way around the place at this point, you know. And I said, and walked right on by the guy.
No kidding, wow.
Went right up the driveway. And of course when I got inside, the cops that I worked with so much knew right away, and said, you know, hey, what the hell is he doing in here? You know, get him out of here. God damn it. You know, point him out and everything else to everybody, so, you know, so that I wouldn't be sneaking in there again. But anyway, I got in and I couldn't see what condition he was in on the floor, you know, over but she was on the floor with a knife. Of course, I couldn't take any picture of it because they didn't have anything. See?
Yeah, sure.
Did you know I found the gun in the killing?
No, how'd that happen?
I started going door to door to door, and when you came down into the west part of L.A., I said, hi, anybody here find any guns or anything?
Yeah.
And the guy says, yeah, we found one. He brought the gun down, put it on the barrel, you know, like a secret, you know, and brought it down and put it on the barbecue pit. And had it down there. And then later called the cops. And the cops came, and like stupid assholes, instead of bagging it or doing some damn thing, I would think that somebody had any friggin' brains at all. Anyway, picked the goddamn gun up and looked it all over and held that and everything. Anyway, so now he takes the gun. I found the gun in the Manson case. And he says, you what? And I says, I found the gun in the Manson case. He says, what the hell are you talking about, Kennedy? And I said, well, all right. And so then he calls, you know, I gave him the rundown on what took place. And immediately they dispatched at high speed right out to the valley and picked that goddamn gun up.
Wow.
And brought it to town, you know, brought it into town right away. It was right there, wham, you know, like nothing. And So anyway, I said, well, how much do I get for finding the gun?
My thanks to all of you, and now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there. Thank you very much.
Kennedy left the platform quickly to escape the pushing, shoving, celebrating admirers. He went through a side door into a pantry next to the hotel kitchen, and there it happened.
You were in Los Angeles when Robert Kennedy was shot.
I was standing right alongside of him.
Well, talk about that.
The stage was out here.
Right?
And then the bleachers and stuff. All right. Anyway, now behind the stage,
Right?
there's a hallway with several doors like this one going down the thing.
Right?
You know. There was a refrigerator here.
Right?
There was a refrigerator over here.
Right.
Okay? And a whole bunch of people all standing right here. Okay? That's when he fired the shots. And when he fired the shots and everything, of course, I was here by the door, and I went in behind here. Okay? That's where I went, behind the refrigerator. And then they took him up the on-ramp. This was the stuff that all of the dishes and all that stuff and everything, trays and all that stuff around. And this was a ramp that went to the outside. That was where they were going to go out.
Wow. So what did you think when you heard this pop pop?
Well, I don't think. No, I don't think that I realized that there had been a report, in other words, there had been a shot, deal, until somebody made the comment that he had been shot.
You were there as a press photographer.
Yeah. I ever tell you on the straw hat deal? Okay. They came out and one of the girls or something had a straw hat.
Mm-hmm.
And it had Kennedy written on it. Okay? Right. All right. And when he was out, Bobby never had a hat on of any kind. No cap or a hat or anything. Yeah. And he took out the girl took the cap and put it on Bobby's head, like this, sort of towards the back.
Right.
And Bob left it on there, I don't know, 2 minutes or something, a little short deal. And then reached up and took hold of the hat and threw it down just in front of the podium. Yeah. The hat went down, and you know who picked the hat up?
No.
Jim Kennedy.
Really?
That's right. And Jim Kennedy came back here and was back for a while doing some stuff after I did come back. And I gave the hat to Judge Lamancuso.
Did you really?
Yes.
During the Watts riots?
Yes, I went through all that.
So what did you get down to the riots themselves?
They had the police unit, or the police department, had a headquarters down there in the, what do you call, and we parked inside them, when we parked inside, or we went out walking on the street with the rest of them, getting a few shots. In the beginning of the thing, or pretty much of it going on, it seems to me that police officers might have shot down a guy or two guys or something of that kind at that, deal. And when that took place, why, that was sort of the beginning. The only time that I've ever had any hassle that I can think of is by the FBI. They didn't want you to know anything about their business or what they're doing and what they want to do or what they can't do. They didn't want you to know anything. I hold a first-class driver's car. I ran the U.S. U.S. championship deal, and I ran that for 3 years or 3 years. I had a Porsche Spyder deal at that time, and Roger Penske that runs
Sure.
the place down here, he and I were tied.
Penske was one of the nation's leading sports car drivers in the early 1960s. In his best season, he won $34,000.
He was driving the big car at that time, the Ford, the big car. I was driving a 2-liter, and he and I were tied when we had the accident at Kent. I had the accident, the engine blew it at Kent, Washington, while we were tied for second place in the U.S. points, the two of us. San Diego to San Francisco.
This car was used exceptionally long in motor racing. Its career took from 1961 till 1964.
And I'll give you some more crap. You want more crap?
I'm here.
I was third place. I think I'm correct now. Third place, 1948 Olympic downhill.
Wow.
At the Tryouts at Sun Valley. How about driving from Los Angeles to technically to New York on a bicycle?
Wow.
Huh?
How did that work?
Well, it was a television show, and we were picked for it, and we got all the way through, halfway across the country, down south of Indianapolis, and something broke on the bicycle, and we both went to the ground there and went over to the hospital there and all.
So we salute you. That's amazing.